afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda, hero's like defender of the fatherland. Your lord and master off here till 1 vs 1 on Rechnaya Pereprava. A map was recently added with the whole map hotfix thing. In the south, it is VBMars fighting for Germany, Deutschland, Reich, taking on the role here of the Brandenburger Panzergrenadier. West and north, it is Fortune fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin, and the 5th Guards Rifle Division. We got here Spearhead, Elite Troops, and German Infantry for VBMars with double Panzerfaust mines versus Fortune, Shock Army, Soviet Industry, or just Industry, I guess. I mean, Soviet is kind of superfluous. And Guard Motor with Triple Infantry. We got a Penal Trooper start here for Fortune versus the Wehrmacht, which can always, go either way, in a sense, depending on how the Wehrmacht player plays. But certainly the Penal Troopers are quite potent, and those, to an extent, are very much popular. We got Pioneers heading eastwards, going to sing northwards. MD42, they're also further heading northwards here. Interesting layout of the map, by the way. Certainly lays up for some potentially interesting battles. Engineers moving northwest, Penal Troops moving forwards there. Likely there'll be more Penal Troops on the way there for Fortune as soon as he can. Scout cars as the Wehrmacht can work out, but they can also just flounder quite spectacularly, especially when your opponent, has double Panzerfaust bulletins, which again basically means you need to fire like 25 Panzerfaust, and then one of them is basically like the 25th one is free. Talk about, an absolute crazy offering. Anyways, Penal Troops coming up again, getting the Grenadiers. We've got an MD42 number 2 on the way here for VBMars. An interesting build here. Possibly in response to the Penal Troops there with MD42 can sort of reasonably well locked down at a pretty cost-effective level. That way, making them much harder to use here for Fortune. We'll see Grenadiers planning from there. We're going to be forcing up from the road, catching the Penal Troops in a deadly crossfire. They will have to get out from very fast. And there you go. Got one Grenadier and it's down to half health. They lost 2 men in the process and themselves went below half health. In the east, we got more Penal Troops moving up there, fresh for Fortune. We got Guard Motor here as well, opening up for Guards Rifle, here Mortars, and of course the T-34A5. Going to need MD42 moving towards the point here, victory point being seized up north. And we got the second MD42 being held forward here by VBMars and the Brandenburger Panzergrenadier Division. Grenadiers pursuing the engineers there, more Grenadiers on the way for VBMars, more Penal Troopers for Fortune. Seizing the munitions point, they're almost done. Sandbags up here. Nice work. Engineers trying to go about, and there you go. Catch the Grenadiers, kills Ludwig. And quickly sneaks up behind the house. A nice play by Fortune. But we got the MD42 nearby them with the backs exposed. We got the other Fortune which could move up there. No, he actually shifts the MD4 towards the house, possibly, which would be a pretty bold move. We got Penal Troops there arriving again. Others moving in. It could try and flank the position here. Certainly would punish the VBMars there for extending with a bit of a blind flank. And there you go, spotting the other Penal Trooper squad. It's going to get a bit dicey, I think, here for VBMars. More Grenadiers moving in. Grabbing the western fuel point there, noting now the players actually see some of the fuel points. They're certainly rather far away placed compared to like other maps. They're sort of at the very edge. In some ways, so they can perhaps seem a bit, tricky to get to. In some ways, MD42 they're covering the point, at least partially catching the Penal Trooper squad there in the small quarter that actually covers that point. Bit of bad luck there for Fortune. Penal Troopers here, that's Grenadiers, MD4 up close, got more moving from there. Go satchel charge on the gunners, but they're themselves closer. Oh, scheiße! Oh, bloody hell, an entire wipe there on VBMars in the early game. Telephone pole, though, is still standing on power utility pole. The other way, it's standing, none of the Germans are. They're crawling if they're still breathing. Take up there happening for VBMars. He's also going for the other Grenadiers. Well, there's a really good satchel charge here. Grenadiers retreating from the north. MD4 trying to deal with the Penal Troops hit the car point there. Seizing the far east fuel point there. Good work. Fortune has been aggressively focused on pushing against VBMars. So he's not really been going for the other fuel point here. So VBMars there, I think, making a slight correction to his tactics to gain that. Nice play. They also got S-mines up there to catch up in the Penal Troopers. Take up done. He'll have to, of course, get something up there fast. MD4 being outmaneuvered by the Penal Troopers. Pioneers engaged by the other one. Total of 3 squads, and there you go. Unfortunately, going to catch the Penal Troopers here. Oh, bit too slow there. Bit too slow can happen. Grenadiers are good to go. We could see maybe some light machine guns. M4 trying to set up again. Pretty ambitious. And there you go. Satchel charge here for Fortune. Rifle grenade off as well. Oh, MD42 wiped, though the gun can still be crewed. Still, those are some bloody losses there for VBMars in the early game versus Fortune, who is certainly extracting a high toll. But we got the S1 here, is going to go from the Penal Troops. There you go. Losing several members here of the Penal Trooper unit. Back in Fortune space, we got medics up. Very nice work there. Grenadiers moving up, backed up by the MD-42. We got the Light Mechanos company up there as well for VBMars. Grenadiers retreating back. MD-42, the recruit by the Grenadiers, obviously. Seems like, yeah, that can happen. They can sort of be like at the edge of the point. For some reason it won't register, and that's what's happening here for Fortune. Moving up there and basically just trying to stay in the exploded area so he doesn't set off any more mines, causing him any more penal troopers. Healing enforcement there. I think Fortune's setting up for some guards to put more pressure on VBMars, which is why it's always floating out manpower. Push there, but against the curve on there by Fortune's penal troopers again. No MD-42 nearby. Need to get something over there. We got Grenadiers arriving. He could go for too soon or Panzer Grenadiers. And no, Fortune actually in a slight surprise move there goes for the mortar. Probably in response to all the MD-42s that VBMars has. Or there might be something else. Are we wiping VBMars as pioneers in the early game? He's been suffering quite a lot there. He's lost Grenadiers and a Pioneer Squad now, well, comparatively yet to get any wipes on Fortune, so that's a bit harsh. But here we can see VBMars is aiming for the thing that might just help him bounce back a bit. He's going for the flame for a half track, most likely. He could go for a regular half track. Most players, though, don't do. So I'm betting a flame for a half track there. MD-42 moving up here, catching the pins over there as VBMars launches a fresh counterattack here for the Brandenburger Panzer Grenadier Division, formed up of the previous special operations units, the Brandenburgers, which at some point where they apparently decided they didn't need it, and so they turned it into a Panzer Grenadier Division, which would then later in the war be made part of the Großdeutschland Panzer Corps. That's a little fun fact there. MD-40 moving up, he's got going for the push there on Fortune's car point. Nice play there, people with the counter attacking on his need to retreat. And here the MD-42 can cover. This seems a bit hard to tell at times if something can cover or not. Bit risky here though due to the sheer proximity of the heavy mortar, still taking heavy fire on the penal troops nearby, and their mortar is suffering a bit. But the MD-42 though is suffering more over there from the 120mm mortar, which as a fun fact the Germans actually just straight up copied alongside I think most of the Axis forces on the Eastern Front, including the Finns, the Hungarians and the Romanians. They just straight up copied it. I don't think they even tried to modify it, they just used it as is. Little fun fact, there we go, we can see VBMars Vengeance is striking it at Fortune string penal troopers. The lack of anti-tank weapons and mines here makes it very easy for the Flamethrower to do some catastrophic damage to Fortune Strafniki, and that could very well be a wipe here. I'd be a bit surprised it wasn't. There we go, dead. And he just keeps attacking the base, so might try and take another path. We got penal troopers going for the carve point again. Up north here we got Grenadiers versus the Engineers, so need to be careful. Back here, troops moving forward to counter-attack. And there you go, could catch the mortar here in some heavy fire, scorching it away there. And moving up behind the Engineers, which could be another wipe here for against Fortune, which would certainly be helpful for VBMars and the German army. There we go, retreating. Got 5 kills so far. We'll have to see what VBMars does next and what doctrine he'll go for. I mean, elite troops, German infantry, spears to an extent all look good, though. He wants something out of the two here. He needs to choose soonest, and that way he can make something out of the early T-43, stun grenades, stormtroopers. Similar here, stormtroopers being helpful there for VBMars. We got the 1st Guard Squad out here for Fortune, and the 5th Guards Rifle Divisions could be adding some DP light machines when it gets to resources. Pupils from 14 to the MD-42 there. Flamethrower needs some lighter repairs. We also got anti-tank rifles up. This is obviously now really paranoid about the Flamethrower tech, which can be very difficult to deal with once it sort of really gets going. Medic bunker up here for VBMars. At least one part. It's a bit more self-assembly, a bit more of an IKEA solution, before IKEA of course existed. MD-42 there, opening up with the Engineers pushing them back. Flamethrower coming up here, but that by Johnny's could go for the Guardsmen, then again maybe not. Smokes were down here and the MD-42's landed a bit amiss. Telemines up there for VBMars, very nice, and we got the tank command up, so theoretically Fortune could end up rushing out the T-70 only for it to hit the Telemines, which would be great for VBMars, pretty terrible for Fortune. And as all this is happening, you can see there's a small happening there in the south. A few units being hit, there's likely some Grenadiers, yes indeed. The other Grenadiers need to retreat, though they're too low in health and numbers to really withstand much. Back here, nothing further going on for VBMars. Again, Panzer Grenadiers, Stormtroopers could be an idea here. But, I mean, he's operating with only 2 infantry squads, which he usually wants a bit more off. He's going for the Pack 40, though he's clearly worried about the light vehicle. It's something that also makes a ton of sense. You can't just counter the Telemine doing it. Of course, if the Telemine does it, that's pretty nice for VBMars. For Fortune, again, it's kind of rubbish. In the south, Grenadiers are hard to work there with the fuel point. Pack 40 halfway done. Got doubling forcing up here slightly awkwardly, but still should be able to catch the penal troopers here in a deadly crossfire. Needs to be careful here with the Flamethrower tech, since They are roughly around the mine, and the flamethrowers can theoretically damage the telemines and set them off. T-7 light tank on the way there for Fortune. Back here, bunker up. Healing happening. Pants out, they can only field sick auto mobilized here for VBMars. Fortune C-70 almost halfway there. Guardsman enforcing it, also had the DP light machine guns now for added anti-infantry, which certainly would benefit Fortune a lot. Almost got the southern fuel point there, and it is tenuously connected by this point here. So there you go. Getting a lot of fuel here compared to Fortune. We get 36 versus 16. That's twice as much fuel there, which is obviously pretty solid for VBMars. Pretty horrid for Fortune. Hey, motor then standby. T-70 light tank out here for Fortune. Gonna be sending out no light machine guns on those chaps. Might be setting up munitions for more mines. Oh, Sakabliat. Straight into the telemine. Payoff there for VBMars in the bigger kind. That's pretty big. And a pretty big blow there to Fortune. Losing his T-70 light tank like that without it doing anything except, well, blowing up. That's just a lot of resources down the drain for Fortune. The question, of course, is does he go for another T-70? Does he go for the Issue 6? I mean, what's he prepare for? Because, I mean, at this point, VBMars should be considering taking up. And Fortune should certainly be considering that possibility as well. Hiccups. Booming away from there. Going to use Pack 40 versus the Guardsman. Pack 40 is not really going to do a lot. I mean, he might get lucky with a shot there killing a Guardsman, which I suppose is what he might be hunting for before sitting up here by the riverbank. Opening up and retreating Guardsman. Got the Haymotor there as well. 3 kills so far. Flampan's Magnum also good to go. The situation for Fortune now is a bit rubbish again. Losing that T-Sim is just absolutely horrific. It's got another Indian squad and they do have minesweepers, but they can only sweep mines so that they can't, you know, sweep them in the past, you know, prevent the mines from going off in the future. That'd be a much more complex gaming experience if that was the case. Anyways, Pioneers are being shredded by Guardsmen and Penals with the troops in the return being shredded by machine guns. Grenadiers, of course, got the flame after the 6 kills, rifling it off as well. Hey, mortifying there could be useful, but also I think it's going to have to try and attack from other angles. There you go, Grenadiers versus Engineers. We got mines down there as well. Need to be careful around here. There you go, rifling it off, at least attempted. Successfully wins the engagement, pretty good there by Fortune. Back here, troops healing forcing for Fortune. Hey, mortar 3 kills still. Guardsmen hitting the dirt for increased range and accuracy. Mostly accuracy, slightly range. They can sort of roughly find the same target, by the way. Almost got the MG42 at the end, ended up getting suppressed. But the MG42 does retreat due to the presence of the heavy mortar. Damage engine here, back in VBMars' base, nothing happening. We got elite troops and we got stormtroopers out there. Finally putting them up there by 3 infantry squads, which is, you know, something you think like you'd get sooner, but, you know, at least it's getting it. Guardsmen shooting up there, virtually 10 kills. Need to try and attack from more angles. Engineers are likely going to get wiped out here by the MG42 unless he pulls off something grand. Or he just gets lucky, which I guess can also happen. Got Stormtroopers as the Penals on the right flank. Bit of MP45 as the anti-tank rifle wielding Penals. Got another T-70 for Fortune. Bit of a bold maneuver there, but I'm thinking he just has to push against the infantry support weapon somehow, otherwise it's never going to matter anyways. So in some ways, a bit risky strategically, and he might have to backtake then for the supporting company and get out some field guns. I am surprised that VBMars has yet to take up, despite, you know, the significant resource advantage he has. I mean, you could at this point probably have Tier 4 up ready and, you know, begin being built. So he could be doing a bit better there. 24 dealing with the Guardsmen in the center victory point. We got 493 versus 299. Troops standing about, and there you go. T-70 light tank out, seizing the southern fuel point with the Grenadiers. Very good. Half A to Veteran 3, half A to Veteran 3. Close to Veteran 2, T-70 heading southwards there. You could also just call in more stormtroopers, but I probably just suggest them to get tanks out. And the South Grenadiers was the T-70 up close, so they might try and panther flash, but that could actually allow the T-70 to wipe them with a bit of bad luck. Then again, they could sneak right past. There we go, the corner and survive. Bit unfortunate there for Fortune. Aha. Pins was around from the centre pack 40 hammering away. He's still just allowing him to shoot whatever he wants to, which is a bit amusing. And now VBMars is going for the second pack 40. That's a bit strange. Not entirely sure what the plan is with this. I mean, again, he could just be taking up and going for tanks by now. He said he's going for a second pack 40? There must be something we are missing here, at least I am. Support company out there for Fortune. Very good. Directed here on the MD42 there. Ace little boy by the hay mortar. Takes out a fat chunk of the help T-center ring in here to try and inflict some very critical harm there to VBMars and the Brandenburger Panzer going to be short. Note that the insignia here of the stormtroopers in the game is actually the insignia of the Brandenburger Panzer going to be short as well. Fun fact. More heavy mortar fire. Troops in reinforcing. T-70 repairs. Ground back to the southern field point. VBMars certainly is otherwise aggressive, but again, oh, he's finally taking out. He is finally taking out. I'd say that was rather too late considering the advantage he had. Stun grenade off there from stormtroopers, but ultimate router here by the guardsmen. Back here, troops reinforcing. Heavy mortar there with 7 kills now. Very good. In the south, more pressure here. Mines up to made it a bit hard to harass. T-70 close to veterans 1. There you go. More push here for the carve point. MB42 crossing the small river there. Guards from there, getting rough grenaded, trying to get away, but instead get suppressed. And we got the Haymortar at very close range. Might get a decent hit on the MD42 before, well, VBMars just ends up retreating it. T-70 good to go once more. Supplement core yet to go up here for VBMars. Still not a lot happening here on the other side of the river for Fortune. He's very much focusing on the eastern side. We got the Sicily on the way to have to deal with the flame for after, but obviously also any tanks that VBMars is likely to soon be tossing at Fortune. And there you go, we finally got a river crossing here for Fortune. Could consider some more mines. Sicily halfway done. Troops in reinforcing. More guards moving westwards. Here's the fuel pumping seas. Pine needs a mine. And he's laying down fresh S-mines as well. Here firing the troops in the centre. Grabbing the point in the west. Going for the western victory point as well. We're down to 185, that's at 493. And there you go, Flame Raptor moves ahead. Possibly a bit too recklessly here. One unit routed. Engineers need to get out there as well. T-70 is slowly being repaired here for Fortune. Oh, quick set of an assassin to charge an 84. That's exactly what he's going to do here. Will he retreat in time? Oh, there we go. But no dice here, and there you go. Fortune sees an opportunity to steal an MD42 away here from VBMars, and the Brandenburger Panzer going to be shown. And nice work there by Fortune. And that was his ace machine gun on top of that, so that's only a nice tactical help there for Fortune. It's not just going to neatly win him the match, but it's, you know, nice and helpful. Back at base still, nothing in terms of armor. Definitely seems to be one of VBMars' hang-ups this match at least. You could be a bit sharp on that one. A bit more active, a bit more aggressive in terms of taking up and actually getting out some armor fast. He's certainly giving Fortune more time to stabilize and actually hurt VBMars. So that, I would say, is a bit of an oversight there by VBMars. T-70 on the move, 5 kills. Veteran G2 soon there. Haymortar firing away like they're going to try and clear out the machine and position the south. Penal Troopers are going to do. He's losing out. Actually, the Penal Troopers close to a wipe there, but he does successfully escape. T-70 versus the double pack 40 is almost taken out here. Ooh, very close there, but the other MD42 is down here. VBMars making a mistake there and loses. His second MD42, the Haymortar, finds out the house. That was definitely a bit of a misplay there, but VBMars, nice kill there for Fortune. Certainly more pressure removed from his shoulders, and more importantly, allows him to use his infantry further freely versus VBMars, as there's, in that sense, fewer zones of control that VBMars can establish against. Meanwhile, he's taking up here, so that means VBMars, despite the advantage he had, has Simply not able to, just been too slow then taking out. It could of course be for some bizarre reason he decided he wants to try and solve for the Tiger Rays, but I know. That's a terrible idea. I mean, he can still... Oh, there we go. He's finally building the Suprema Corps, but I'd really say this is definitely too slow for VBMars and honestly a tad sloppy. Anyways, troops are healing and forcing. Repairing as well. Field gun there on watch. Haymotor they're close to Veteran 2 with 11 kills. Stormtrooper they take a bit of a hit and they're going to in fact gains Veteran 2. 487 versus 144. That's only VBMars' big advantage. He's got a lot of victory points, but he probably could have been in a better situation with more tanks out sooner. I mean, he's definitely got the fuel for at least 2 Panzer IVs. A lot of Stoogs. Almost 4 Stoogs. Fortunately, to hit the fuel point there. VBMars could also still benefit from more infantry, but at this point, he's probably going to go for tanks and more MD-42s to replace the ones he lost to the Bolsheviks. And there you go, Panzer IV on the way. And this is an interesting demo chart there, Fortune, just in the middle of the stream there, river. Not something you see that often. I mean, it theoretically works if, like, VBMars gets too aggressive, you might not see it in time, and in case, boom, something gets blown out. Of course, if we take some more cautious approach, this is going to be very obvious. We'll have to see how that works out. Haymotor almost taking out another unit there. And he's bringing ahead. They got Pack 40 and the T-10 light tank, ready 2-6 kills. Close one there. It does manage to get out of range of the Pack 40s and the Grenadiers. Using eastern and western points, they're fortunate to make a broad push here. This is VBMars, who is finding himself in a bit of a sticky spot. There we got Stormtrooper with the MP40 and the Panzerschreck. First Panzer out there for VBMars. He can soon go for more if he wants to. Or he can just go for other things in terms of like how close is to the target. 80 is 7 command points, or 4 command points away. 7, I don't know where that one came from. So there's a bit more to go on that one. Well, 3.5 really. Rather than 4. Panther is the anti-tank penal troops there. We got marked vehicle off there as well to increase damage against it. With the anti-tank rifles. Oh, probably should have more units nearby and probably not the penal troops out in the bloody open. Flame firing up, we got the field gun nearby. Directed hit on the Flampanzerwagen. Oh, direct mortar hit, they could see it taken out with a flame. Oh, no, gets away, close one though. And these we got the Panther wing and almost taking out the engineers. But has suffered quite a bit. There's, I believe, hits a mine. Storms from the center as the Soviet MD-4 to the man, but penal troopers back here giving reinforcement. T-70 sneaking in here to possibly go against the stormtroopers. And we got more pioneers. Now briefly countered that instead he goes for more Panzer IVs, though again more pioneers up pairs Panzers faster, would also be a solid choice there for VBMars. And there you go, T-70 versus the stormtroopers, double pack force again, and there you go, the T-70 goes down here to the mobile pack front of VBMars and the Brandenburgers. Nice work here in stormtroopers. There we go. Ooh, aircraft shut down as well. Oh, I have no idea where that went down. Flamethrower taker versus the guardsmen, almost taking out there with anti-tank rifles. Close shave there for VBMars. Fortune is not far off from a T-3045, though of course you could also consider the H-35 with all the armour out in the field. Plus the double pack Fortune, in which case the H-85 can more easily stay safe there from the pack front. Using the western points, then they're pulling back. Panzer IV there on the move. Need to be careful not to rush it too far ahead without any support. That could easily end up rather than pleasantly there for VBMars. Truth be told. And so Fortune, he's planning quite a bit of manpower. Could consider more guardsmen, another field gun, more support weapons. I mean, even maybe another heavy mortar, that might be a bit on the excessive side. But I would suggest something there. Anyways, field gun ending nice hit on the Panzer IV flank. Got the pack forming up there a bit too far. Far east side, could see more action there from Fortune, and I suppose also VBMars as he pushes ahead here. Haymotor right next to the demo charge. He needs to be careful about this since if VBMars goes for any counter-artillery, he could risk, heading the demo charge, and even if it doesn't do any critical or any damage at all to the Haymotor, it'd still be, going off, which would be less amazing there for Fortune. More pioneers out there for VBMars. Finally. And back here we got another Sister Leader Fortune to deal with the impending armoured assault that's likely going to hit him. Also, VBMars is getting very close here to the Tiger race, and Fortune should have a good idea what to expect. I mean, he's seen Stormtroopers since G43s. He should at this point be figuring out, alright, my opponent has gone for a troops of the Tiger race. It's a possibility, though, again, most round players at the moment don't go for it, but that doesn't mean you should always discount it utterly. Southeast side here, points being grabbed again. Third Panzer IV, so while he could go for the Tiger race, so far at least the VBMars is not showing any inclination towards it. T-35 on the way there for Fortune as well. More mines. Gundy's Ringette, Panzer IV halfway done. For the last skirmish, we got the guards from the Grenadiers, G4 feet versus DP and DP light machine gun, plus of course most of the guns. T-35 almost done, Panzer IV almost done. VBMars preparing for a big push in the south here, moving up his tanks, his flamethrower half tracks, his anti-tank guns, and a chunk of infantry and pioneers. Noting he's lost the Stormtroopers down to just 2 infantry squads again. Now the side so far by has gone for more than 3 infantry squads at any time, which is usually, I would argue, the bare minimum. So I think at least both sides can consider going up to 4 infantry squads. That thing will give them a bit more flexibility on the offense and defense. Panzer moving on the west side, Penman machine being added in the east, bit of skirmishing here. Remainder of VBMars' armoured force hangs back. We got the flame fighting up, back up. Engineers was the flame for engineers up north here. Panzer IV moving in. We got Garth, and then we got a field gun nearby. Might want to turn that one about. T-35 on the move. He could try and flank the Panzer IV. Could he move up the anti-tank peons within the sort of deeper flank to maybe set up an attempt to sort of hit the Panzer IV on the rear with an anti-tank satchel? But it does seem like here that Fortune is perhaps a bit too preoccupied, doesn't consider it. I'll wait, sit them eastwards. Ooh, damaging in the T-35 against the Grenadiers, but unfortunate means he can't catch up with the Panzer IV and finish it off. In the east, we've got to push up here. Flamethrower check, Panzer IV here, but there he goes straight into a mine and in front of the field gun, and right in front of an anti-tank peon squad pops off an anti-tank satchel charge, taking out one of VBMars' Panzer IVs. That was a not well executed assault, and again with just infantry squads, he didn't have anything to really back up the attack, and that was actually a big mistake. Usually it's the Germans you want to move from the car up your attacks. There you go, hits the second mine. Not good there. Of course, it's good for Fortune, certainly good mining there done by Fortune, but for VBMars, this is turning into a bit of a mess. And could have been executed, I think, a bit better there. We got smoke showing off as well. Panzer IV trying to escape here. Flamethrower just standing about. Taking up the field gun. T-35 need repairs, so he's down to just 2 Panzer IVs versus Fortune, who didn't actually lose too much during that attack, partly again due to VBMars' sheer lack of infantry support for his armour. Which again, with a good infantry flank here, could maybe help clear out the support weapons and make things easier for the Panzer IVs. Instead, he just dashed them in there with a flamethrower half track and lost 2 vehicles. T-35 set are out there. Fortune sensing possibly has to quickly move ahead and grab as much territory as he can, while VBMars is busy licking his wounds. In fact, he's charging into the base. You need to be careful about that. You should be able to double pack Fortune right here. It seems like Fortune has, I think, made a bit of a greedy miscalculation. He ends up in front of all of that. The C-35 is going to go down in a matter of seconds, meaning whatever advantage Fortune just might have gained from just repulsing VBMars' assault just kind of went down the drain as he tossed away a T-35. We got the field on there, battering away there, getting one of the pack crews, which is helpful. But still doesn't quite make up for the loss of a full T-35. Need to get the field gun crew out of there before they can ride out with the light machines and G43s. Southeast could still be seized there as well by Fortune. Back here, more men on the move. As for VBMars, hard to say this planning, but it's starting to look a lot like the Tiger race here in the hope to just crash Fortune. Fortune's bringing up a lot of stuff. He needs to be careful. I mean, again, he should be expecting a Tiger race, at least have a possible premonition that thing could actually happen to him. So, I mean, if he's making too far of a push and doesn't establish a good defensive line that can actually hold back the Tiger race, he could just risk being overrun. So it's getting a bit dangerous here for Fortune. Again, We know that VBMars has gone for elite troops, and we definitely know he's very likely to go for the Tiger Race. Fortune should have the idea, but there's no guarantee, and of course he still might be a bit undecided on the possibility that VBMars does decide to go for the Tiger Race, since again not everyone is happy about it, but VBMars here is. So there you go, Tiger Race out there, and that's going to give Fortune here some impending nightmares. Troops are being massacred on retreat, Guardsmen doing what they can here, ace level, machine gun else in the tough spot, and there you go, Tiger Race shoots, immediately obliterates 2 Guardsmen, charges 48, another Guardsman dead, Panther Force flanking here, Fortune's point here of course is crumbling, VBMars should still have some infantry support, but of course doesn't have a lot of infantry left, and Carnage replaces now with the Tiger Race on the field, field going to open there, Panther Force going to flank, it could actually end up the demo charge if he's not careful, Scheiße! Demo chart goes off and wipes the Panther 4 crew out of existence. Field gun though is down. That looks spectacular. Field gun here trying to deal with the Panther 4, but it's getting flanked here by the Tiger Race, which turns his mighty turret, and there we go. Field gun will manage to finish off anyways. So that was a bit of a brutal engagement here. VBMars lost a tank, but Fortune lost all of his anti-tank guns, meaning he's got no serious counters now to stop the Tiger Race, which is pretty bad for Fortune. Great though for VBMars. Wrecking the Panther 4 wreckage, huge clump of in front of the Tiger Race and the Panther 4 to the right. He actually ends up making a mistake. He pushes too far, he couldn't limit himself within range of an anti-tank self charge, and that's exactly what he does there. Bit of a blunder there by VBMars, got a bit too overconfident, a bit too greedy, and there we go. But doesn't actually damage the engine. That's pretty bloody lucky there for VBMars. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. But anyways, mortar fire raining down, Guardsmen moving up there, troops in the centre being completed on the Panther 4, find everything else. Tiger Race rolling back here, 20 kills so far already. Absolutely amazing impact there on Fortune's forces. We got 98 versus 363. Grenades being pushed back. We got a field gun up on the north side on the Tiger Race, all in its own with no infantry screen or nothing. That will likely be swarmed here by VBMars' Panther forces, and there you go. Great hit by the field gun on the Tiger Race. Field gun is so far somehow surviving, but now as it's moving, it becomes a lot more vulnerable to both the Tiger Race and the Panther 4. Pum's coming up there, going to charge in there. Field gun crew almost dead, and he's going to go ahead for another anti-tank charge, and VBMars once more lets it happen. Not good. This time around, there's no avoiding the damaged engine. Is down to less than half health. They can still pull it back and just repair it. We got more Parnage on the way back on the way for VBMars. He's destroying the field gun up in the north. Destroying once more Fortune. So we'll go bloody hell, obliterating the Guardsmen there with the Tiger Race. 22 kills. Peons with the machine gun. The next target, Panther 4 moving in. They're half expecting 2 troops inside the base are getting absolutely pummeled here by German tank firepower. As all this is happening, Fortune is just securing other chunks of the map. They're not a bad idea at all. Not a bad idea at all. Heavy mortar they're taking fire from the Tiger Race. 27 kills. And he's further moving ahead into Fortune's base. Guardsmen are hitting the dirt, trying to somehow survive and do some damage, but they're getting pummeled here. Peons was going to need to see SVT 40s was due for the fleets in Car 19 case, and the Peons was going to be slowly winning, though we got the gunners moving up to turn the tide further in the favour of Germany. Machine gun bunker down here, leaving Fortune's west side of the base much more exposed. What will he do? Tiger Race the doing when he can. We got 31 kills. Anti-tank self charge on the other Panzer 4. That's another Panzer 4 written off by the river. It's quite nasty stuff. They're leaving just the Tiger Race now here. 4 VBMars. Oh dear, he lost a lot of pioneers there to a single string mortar hit. And that's going to make it hard for him to repair his Tiger Race, which means there's going to be a bit of dead weight there. Okay, finding another center victory point here between Fortune and VBMars' infantry. So Fortune has the winning advantage with the MD42 team there. Tiger Race continues in the base here. VBMars is trying to just close off the match here versus Fortune, though he might have just made a mistake here, pushed to fight with the Tiger Race, and there goes Sato charge off. VBMars, I think, really should just pull back and reorganize, because while the Tiger Race is being the resource, it still has, a sizable force versus Fortune, still has the victory point advantage, and I think we're just trying to sort of finish off like this, no matter the cost. He's leaving himself in a really bad spot, and there you go. Well, at this point, he might as well just lose the tag race, and apparently VBMars just surrenders. So there you go, GG, game over. Nasty fight here with some big explosions, big losses on both sides, some nasty fights and whatnot. We got elite troops, which you don't actually get to see that often. We'll have to see if the patch changes on that. But that's I mean, in the end, VBMars, I think, was close to winning, but in the end, he just, I think, got too greedy there, too brazen, and just threw away a lot of stuff there needlessly. And he also needed more infantry. I'd definitely say operating with 2 infantry squads is insufficient, and I was definitely, I think, one of VBMars' bigger mistakes. Fortunately, they could also push to 4. In fact, for the Soviets, running with 3 infantry squads is usually just scraping the bottom of the barrel, and usually it's not something you want to be doing. Also, VBMars, they're way too slow in taking up, so, you know, some things that can improve upon there. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial Linking. Cheers. Thank you for watching. You're all a wonderful audience. Most wonderful audiences. And I'll be back tomorrow with another exciting episode. Bye.